All right, welcome to. I almost forgot the name of the show, Eric Wood Podcast. On Fridays, I decided to call it Road to the Supernatural Episode 1. What does that mean? Absolutely nothing. No, I'm just joking. Episode 1 is basically on Friday is open topic where us and you will determine on where we end up at. We can talk UFOs, Bigfoot. We can look up whatever we want. This is our show on Friday. Now, time difference. I was originally going to do this at 9 a.m. Like I said, this morning, got back at 8:20, ready to create the link. I get a phone call. Hey, nobody's here. Can you come and get me? Okay. So I had to leave. Go pick up somebody. Actually, I picked up my son, come back. I was going to do this at 10 a.m. My son comes out. Hey, they recalled me. They want me back at 10. Okay. Let's go. Drop 10, make it 11. And I'm just waiting for something to happen right now. I'm just waiting for something to, I don't know, a phone call, something to, where I have to end the show. Because that's what's been kind of, been like that today. It's been like that. All right. So we're gonna do, this is like I said, this is open topic. So since we're open topic, let's see here. Maybe we'll start off, and like I said, the show can go anywhere we want today. I am not set on any individual stories. So we'll start off. Let's see here. I know yesterday, the Cryptid Huntress did a show on the Battle of Los Angeles. I guess we'll start today with the Battle of Los Angeles. How about that? And then, like I said, we could go from anywhere from here. First of all, the Battle of Los Angeles. Here's an article. UFOs or no? Battle of Los Angeles neared the 75th anniversary. So, hold on a second, guys. Let me see here. Okay, never mind. I got a text. I'm like looking at these texts, like, okay, where am I headed to? First of all, hold on. I gotta go back here for a second. I want to make that the smaller one. So, UFOs Battle 75th anniversary. So basically, February 25th, 1942. A curiosity web search will tell history buffs that despite the firing of about 400 anti-aircraft rounds into the dark skies above Los Angeles in the nearly hours of February 25th, 1942, the city was under Japanese attack. It was, in fact, visited by an alien spacecraft. First of all, my first question to you guys is, let me just bring this down for a second. Do you guys believe? Hold on. You know what? Maybe I'll just put in like a poll right now on that. Yeah, I think I'll do that. Let me go here for a second. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna put in a poll right now. Start a poll. Do you believe that the 1942 Battle of Los Angeles. Hold on. Angeles was aliens spacecraft. All right, here we go. All right, enter. Oh, start poll. All right, there we go. So we just started a poll. I want to know for you guys, do you guys believe that a 1942 Battle for Los Angeles is was from alien UFOs, whatever you want to call it. So put in your votes now. So far, we got 6 votes. Okay, 6 votes. 6 people said yes, they do believe that the Battle of Los Angeles is true so far. So I want to keep it up. Keep voting. Put your vote in. Jojo says, I have no idea. Hey, Jojo, that's fair. That's fair. Here, let me go back to it then. All right. So, the director of Fort MacArthur Museum in San Pedro, who is writing a book on the encounter based on research and eyewitness accounts from those firing the anti-aircraft guns, dismiss that conclusion. But the general gets is that I'm part of the conspiracy. Stephen Nelson said, when asked about the interaction with UFOs, enthusiasts on the subject, he was asked, you think that you think that I and these soldiers are going to keep that secret? It defies logic, but whatever. Nelson Museum annually celebrate. Well, first of all, hold on a second. The notion ET visitors didn't come up. Accounts. Now, listen, first of all, keeping secrets. First of all, this is 1942. If you were there, I'm sorry to say you're very, very old. And it's great that you're still alive somehow. So when you get older, sometimes in life, people, you guys know this. When you get older in life, you're like, I don't give a fuck no more, right? You don't care. You don't care. You spill the beans because what do you got to lose for? When you're younger, you're military, you got a lot to lose if you want to come out with the truth. But when you're older, I don't know, 5 years left in life, 10 years left, you don't care anymore. You don't care. So you see here. Let me see here. Something good. Oh, 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 do you guys see that right there? 1941. I'm going to tell you guys something. If you've never seen the movie 1941, it's a great, great movie. Hold on a second. IMDb. Steven Spielberg has something to do with the movie 1941. Let me see, what was he on that movie? Let me see here. Give me a second. Here we go. Let me pop this back up. The movie 1941. Yeah, Steven Spielberg directed it. Writers Robert Zemeckis, Bob Gale. Now, Robert Zemeckis and Bob Gale, remember, they wrote and directed Back to the Future, starring John Belushi, Dan Aykroyd. If you guys never seen 1941, this movie is so underrated. So underrated. It's a fantastic movie. What is hold on. Danny Stanton wrote, Dr. Wu went on 8 hours and 46 minutes last night. We were all disappointed in him. He missed his record by 13 minutes. Wow. 8 hours. God damn. I remember going 2 hours and stuff, and 2 hours is Oh, we got 7 votes. Somebody put in a vote. No, they don't believe that the Battle of Los Angeles were from UFOs. Hey guys, there's no right or wrong answer. There's really not. Because none of us were born in 1942. We weren't living there. Now, maybe Danny was a teenager during the 1941, 1942 years, but the rest of us, we weren't even born. So let's see if there's anything else about the battle recommended for you. Why is she recommended for me? She looks like she could kick my ass with her eyes. Can I get out of this? Oh, okay. Okay. Is the Battle of Los Angeles based on a true story? The film story was partly inspired by the Battle of Los Angeles, a rumored enemy attack, subsequent anti-aircraft marriage that took place in Los Angeles during World War II on February 24, 1942. See, that's the thing is that's the trick here. That's the trick. You know, during those era, there was always that scare of enemies coming up the coastline, kind of like the New Jersey fuck. Oh god, fuck the explosion in New Jersey. Forgot what it was. Hey, look, he's up. He's up. I haven't had a hangover since 2016. Must be my superpowers. Yeah, must be because I did call Dr. Wu at 8:30 this morning. He didn't answer, so I had a feeling that Dr. Wu was had a little hangover. So hey, Dr. Wu, are you up? If you're up, I'll send you an invite link. Unless you're you can't put your computer up in time. Hold on a second. Let me do this for a second. La la la. So I don't know what you're doing, but Bob, Dr. Wu, I just sent you an invite link if you wanted to jump on. So that's up to you. I was on the roof. Were you are you looking for the Battle of Fresno with the UFO ships? Okay, so let me go back here a second. Let me see here. Let's see if there's anything else that's really cool. Let me see here. Now, of course, the military says World War II bizarre battle of Los Angeles, February 25th, 1942. An infamous false alarm saw American military units unleash a torrent of anti-aircraft fire in the skies of Los Angeles. Now, of course, the story goes that they knew it was UFO. That's why they're shooting it. And the idea of the story of this one is that they say that it wasn't a UFO. It was a false alarm, which it could be a false alarm. I mean, none of us were there. None of us were born. Because it's kind of like mixed feelings here, right? Think about this. Say we all believe. Now, it looks like out of 12 votes, 75% of you believe it was UFOs. Okay. So 75% of you. If you believe that was UFOs, is it wrong for us to automatically shoot it down? I mean, if the military knew what it was, if the UFO wasn't firing at us, isn't that kind of like making them scared shitless? The aliens themselves, like, oh, here's Dr. Wu.
We'll see if I can come on. I don't know. It's freezing.
We can hear you just fine.
All right.
So like I said, Friday is like open topic, but to start it off, I just brought up the subject, Battle of Los Angeles, just to have a subject to start with. Now we know the battle was Bob. We know the battle was February 25th, 1942. Some people believe it was UFO. Some people say it was false alarm. Some people believe that it was an enemy aircraft from another country, and to hide it, they say it was a false alarm. But all the study you have done through your college, archaeologists and stuff, have you guys ever discussed the Battle of Los Angeles?
Yeah, actually we have. That like you said in 1941, that's the movie with John Belushi, which was hilarious. Kind of focused
movie.
on it. It was hilarious.
Underrated movie. It was Steven Spielberg's first directed movie with that cast.
It's one of the best movies ever made, man. That's one of my desert island favorites. And the funny thing is, they're all shooting a plane. It's not even a UFO in the movie. Yeah.
Yes, it was. They were shooting at John Belushi.
Yeah. Well, no, wait. Yeah, they're shooting at John Belushi. Yeah, his plane. Yeah.
It was his plane.
Yeah, I think he was outside of Barstow when he pulls into a field, and he's trying to get gas, and they're like another psycho. They're all waiting for the Japanese invasion, which is ironic because in this reality here in Orion Spur, the Japanese did in fact send over balloons, incendiary balloons, and they started fires.
Hold on. JoJo, you never seen 1941? Hey guys, I'm serious. It's I mean, listen, I don't know how the movie holds up really nowadays, but it's such a great movie because the movie goes everywhere. You know, it's like so many different storylines that ends up in Los Angeles.
Oh yeah.
And everybody's just shooting up. Had Dan Aykroyd, of course, John Belushi. What's the other fat guy's name? John Candy.
Yeah.
John
It was like
Candy.
pretty much all the cast of Saturday Night Live, the original 70s. Also Animal House, National Lampoon actors.
Yes.
So it was a really good combo. Oh
yes,
yeah.
And
it's like watching Animal House.
It was basically, you know, the Battle of Los Angeles was from that movie with the plane. But so when you guys studied it in college, was the concept of could be UFO from outer space was brought up, or?
Oh yeah. No, it was an unidentified object. It was an unidentified object.
So no matter what, it was a UFO.
And for some reason, they were firing anti-aircraft, because they had home defense. They actually had home defense in Los Angeles, and they had a lot of guns pointed out towards that direction because that's where Japan would come over. So they did have anti-aircraft. They were shooting it at the object. They were shooting at it, and for some reason, it didn't bother it. It's like a force field. It didn't do anything to it. It didn't even move. It didn't even move places. It stayed in one spot the entire time everybody was shooting at it. So they're like, what the hell is that? Huh. Yeah. In fact, it was ironically right after the Zoot Suit riots. You remember that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, right after the Zoot Suit riots. Yeah.
I was letting people know that movie came out in 1979, so they know that it's not a new movie. But it was one of Steven Spielberg's first directed movies at the theater. So during that time, so in your opinion, you think it was we just didn't know, like it was unidentified. It could have been Japanese, could have been Germany, could have been. I mean, do you have an idea? Like, was it an enemy? Do you might believe that it's from another world? I mean, what does your insights tell you? Or was it just a misfire? They went crazy.
No, it was an object above the ocean, and that's where they were shooting everything out, so it's safe to shoot out that direction. They even cleared all the flight paths away from that area, and all the ships were moved away from that area. So the entire city was on full alert. I mean, it was considered and thought to be an invasion. And it just stayed in one spot as they all shot at it the whole time. So the weird part isn't the fact that it was a UFO. It was the fact that all those anti-aircraft rounds wouldn't do anything to it. Nothing. That's the weird part. They were shooting live ammunition at it, and it didn't budge. Nothing happened to it. Nothing. Huh. Which means it could have been an interdimensional, which means all the rounds were going right through it. It wasn't even hitting it.
Well, it could have been an enemy plane because nobody had technology like that could just stand there and take the hits. Nobody. I mean, I know Germany was kind of advanced than most military out there during that time.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
And it could have been something from could have been Nazi technology. They were building things. They had the Glocka. They had the bell, the Glocka. And so they were thought to have that technology. And they could very, very much have been one of them. And also they've supposedly the Nazis were in Antarctica under the ground with a large military base. And towards the end of the war, they reported to have a lot of missing Nazis that just they were on submarines for some reason, headed up to Antarctica.
this here is the history military. I was just curious what the history military kind of think what it was. World War II bizarre Battle of Los Angeles, February 25th. Infamous false alarm. American military units unleash a torrent of anti-aircraft fire in the sky. So the history channel and all of them are calling it a misfire. In frantic weeks of follow the Pearl Harbor attacks, many Americans believe that the enemy raids. I mean, yeah, everybody was on edge. Everybody thought everybody was going to eventually start attacking us.
Yeah,
which
and it was ironic. It was before Pearl Harbor. So were they scouting? Yeah. I mean, were they scouting?
Like the movie 1941 is based on some true stuff. Like right here. Just a few days later, on February 20, 1942, a Japanese submarine surfaced off the coast of Santa Barbara, which they did that in that movie 1971.
Yeah.
Yeah,
they did.
Where they forced that guy to try to take a dump because he swallowed the
compass.
He swallowed the compass
from a Cracker Jack box.
That's right. From a Cracker Jack box, and they were giving him prune juice.
Yeah. God, I can't remember his name. He's a great actor. He's funny, and it was a Japanese submarine. And they got lost because their navigation equipment wasn't functioning. They had no compass, no gyro compass. They had no direction, and they were going to take out Hollywood.
Yes, Hollywood. And that Asian actor saw a carnival ride and started yelling Hollywood, and it was just a little fair. It wasn't Hollywood, but they saw the lights.
Yeah,
and they said Hollywood, and they were shooting at the wrong place.
Yeah, they were going to take out. Their goal was to take out Hollywood, but the problem is they can't find Hollywood. And then they captured that crazy American, and he just happened to have a box of Cracker Jacks, and in the box it was a compass. And when they noticed he had a compass, they were all happy because now they can finish the mission and navigate to Hollywood. But he swallowed it.
Oh man, I have to go rewatch the movie. No, that's
yeah. They were trying to get him to defecate in their toilet so they can get the compass.
Let me see here. The mysterious battle. This is Los Angeles Almanac. So I'm curious. Mysterious battle. They're all basically talking about the same thing. The Japanese submarine on the outdoors and all that. I'm trying to find the conspiracy ones. I mean, I'm not saying it's a conspiracy that it wasn't a UFO and another, outer space, but truth of the matter is we weren't born there. We don't know. Except Danny was the only one who was a teenager during that time.
Yeah, because he's old.
The movie. Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
But the movie Battle of Los Angeles, wasn't that based on a modern day? Was that movie based on modern day times? I don't remember.
I don't know.
Huh.
I just know 1941.
Here's space.com. Battle Los Angeles, story behind a sci-fi alien invasion. Okay, maybe this is it. Story behind sci-fi alien invasion. Would you like to send? I don't know, fucking notification. Oh, that's a movie. Oh, yeah, that's the movie I was talking about. Yeah, there was a movie. It was I forgot the actors that was in that movie, but
I think we've been firing on UFOs for a long time. Even the Foo Fighters back in World War II. Remember all them Foo Fighters were all over the planes, like balls of light floating all around the planes in mid-flight. The Foo Fighters.
I know our hold on. I know our government August UFO conference or something. I think they're going to be having another panel, another UFO panel. I think it's in August. Is Mindfork there? Mindfork, isn't the government going to have another UFO panel in August?
More non-human entities.
Is it? I think they are. God, I hate it when you've seen it, but you don't know where you saw it at. Sounds familiar.
What are you looking for?
There's a date the government again is going to be having a UFO conference.
Yeah, the fake UFO conference. Yeah.
Yes, yeah, the one that will learn absolutely nothing.
Nothing. It's a show. In fact, they wear particular colors depending on the astrology of the day. Like they'll wear you'll have one weird guy in the Congress sitting around with a green suit on, and he's the one talking. I'm like, okay, you can't see the color of this guy. He's just like, and then they have the hand symbols, the little hand gestures. I'm like, I know what you're doing. I mean, come on. It's a scam.
Big time. Yeah, I know.
It's staged. They got questions they've already got written out for them to ask. They've already got their answers ready. It's just for the public.
That's all it is.
Yeah.
But what's so fun is when you know it's coming out, that's when everybody thinks, all right, the truth's going to come out, and everybody gets on that board, on that bandwagon. It's going to, all right, and it's almost like people, I don't know what it is. I think people kid themselves when they say, listen, we just want to know some truth about certain flying objects that we know we saw. And it's almost like, I feel like you guys know you're all lying. You want to know one thing. If it's a spacecraft from outer space, that's all you wanted to know. You don't care about the individual sightings that you saw. You want to hear the gusco. You want to hear that it's a UFO from another planet. That's what you want to hear, and that's what you're never going to hear them say.
No, they won't say it. And right now, the biggest buzz in astronomy or astrology, whatever astronomy, is the multiple Dyson spheres they've located in space. They've got multiple Dyson spheres, which is a sign of a +1 advanced civilization, like multiple civilizations. They've captured their own star. They're using it as a fuel source for their civilization. It's kind of interesting. The new Dyson spheres. So now we got Dyson, not one, but multiple Dyson spheres located in the cosmos. They're just really leaking out that information to everybody.
Have you or anybody in the chat, has anybody been watching the show, The Boys, the new season?
Oh yeah.
Oh my God. It's just so how they hit how society really is nowadays is so amazing how both sides are crazy, both sides are fighting, it's amazing how they take what's going on nowadays and they kind of loop it in without using like real Congress, real senator names. And
it's ironic that you would have the supporters for Homelander, the sinister evil superhero, and they all have the red hats. They're like "Make America Great Again."
Exactly.
You know
exactly.
Like, okay.
You know exactly what the divide they're trying to do is. It's just crazy. And whatever that what was that conference called? Truth Talks.
Yeah.
Whatever conference they're going to, TruthCon or something like. And then I think I was laughing when somebody was speaking at a TruthCon conference, whatever they call it in the show, and they're going the conspiracy, like talking about like Tom Hanks, and I'm like, oh my God, I love it. You know, look at this number, it's from Tom Hanks. It equals 666. See what I'm telling you? And it's just like, wow, I love it. I love it. Oh, Butcher. Oh, Butcher is fucking awesome in that show. The guy with the beard.
He likes to kill the soups. He's killing the soups. Superheroes.
But what I like about it is like, you think this group is heroes, but everything they've done is all film. It's almost like how they do it nowadays, where we all think these certain people are heroes, but it's all an act. It's all fake behind the scenes. You're not that person. You're not that brave.
It's like the royal family, the two brats. They were they were in the British Air Corps or whatever, Air Force, and they show them flying in their helicopters, and you know their cameras are taking pictures, kind of like how Elvis was in Germany. You know what I mean? There's just a showpiece. They've got fake heroes. These places, they make fake heroes here. You know, it's just fake. Usually it's a congressman's son that's going to be groomed to be a president, like Bush. We both know that he was in the Air Corps, American Reserve Air Corps.
Yeah.
And they look at his records, like when he was in college, he didn't even take any of his tests. Someone took it for him. He didn't even show up half the time for ROTC shit. He didn't even fly. He didn't know how to fly. He faked it. So he was groomed to be president. All these guys in the military, they're all sons and daughters of rich senators in the military.
Yes. Who was that Democrat guy who was running for president one year, and he got a Purple Heart, and they found out that his Purple Heart was based on, like, he had a splinter in his butt.
Yeah, like a splinter.
He was a
congressman.
He was sons of some fame or some other politician. So like he got a splinter or something in his ass, and they gave him a Purple Heart. And you know they gave it to him because your parents are senators of Congress. They want to build, like, this guy fought for you. Now the only guy that actually really took real shit that we know was the Arizona guy that was actually captured in a military camp.
Oh yeah, he was in Hanoi Hilton.
Yeah,
Hanoi Hilton. Where he was kept separate from all the other enlisted prisoners.
Yeah, they called him the Maverick. He was called Maverick, like the original Mavericks. Like, he's like the only guy I really know that was actually captured by the enemy, and he was in a camp. But beyond
they
him,
even talked about. They even talked about him having special treatment, though. He had special treatment, and separate from all the other guys in Hanoi Hilton, where he had his own bed, his own meals, correspondence.
John Kerry, he's the one that had the old wood bottom. John Kerry, he got a Purple Heart for having a splinter in his ass. Thank you. But who's that Maverick guy from Arizona, guys, that was captured? I knew somebody would know his name. He ran for president too. He was the one that got that girl from Alaska because of the way she looked, not because how smart she was. John McCain, thank you, John McCain. Thank you so much.
Yeah, John McCain. And John McCain, people don't realize, is he was one of the biggest advocates to not give disability to veterans. To not give it. He was one of the ones to take a lot of the stuff away. In fact, right now, the reason why my internet's so bad is because the phone I got from the Veterans Administration, the free phone from being disabled, Congress decided, the Republicans decided not to vote on it and extend it. So a lot of us veterans with these phones, we don't have any internet on it. Like I have some enough to be on the show, barely. Yeah.
I know they did. There was a not a yeah. There was actually a discount that the government program had that they'll take like $30 off of internet, either phones or internet at home, and it ended
Yeah.
just a month ago. And of course, the government decided not to refund it.
Yep, that's it. They didn't refund it. So a lot
So,
of disabled veterans are having hard times right now. And they, you know, internet's not cheap. I mean,
no,
it's not cheap.
no, no.
And you're on a fixed income. Disabled veterans on a fixed income. We could really use that internet, extra internet. I do all my shows off my phone, and right now I don't have hardly any internet, barely. You're glitching in and out. I'm glitching. Shit.
No, you're not glitching at all. You're looking good.
Man.
What does he say?
I know. Well, this is if you guys can notice that I've got the Heather Sutherland avatar at the moment because he just passed away.
Yep, famous for Animal House, and he also played in that freaking awesome military movie with Clint Eastwood, where he was like a hippie that was in charge of the tanks. Remember that movie?
Huh.
Where remember that movie, Bob? Where Clint Eastwood, they want to rob that bank for gold in Germany.
Oh,
Kelly's
yeah,
hero.
Kelly's Heroes.
Kelly's hero.
Kelly's
And he was
Heroes,
like a hippie kind of a soldier with the with the tanks, and and they all decided, I remember because there's a general in the movie like, look, these are American fighters. These are what Americans are about, fighting on their own. Which he didn't know that they were just doing it for the money. They want to rob the bank. Which, hey, listen, I don't blame anybody that's in a military fight in another country. Fuck, you're there. You're not making no money. Everybody else is making the money. So I have no problems with anybody robbing banks in a war in another country. I'm a. Hey, actually, Krypton Huntress, we started off the show today talking about the Battle of Los Angeles. Because today's a free for all show. Since I started off, because you had that topic yesterday. And all that. So I'm trying to remember, beyond the history of the Battle of Los Angeles, 1940. Oh, I think we just lost Dr. Wu. I think they got him, guys. I think they finally got him. You finally got him. He'll try to come back. So yeah. So far, out of 22 votes, 64% thinks that the battle was a spacecraft, and 36% says no. And if you heard Dr. Wu earlier, said that they did discuss it in their college. They discuss it that they did fire up at something, but this thing didn't move. And it makes you think, right? I think we said it earlier in the show that nobody had technology in 1942 just to sit there, right? We didn't have that kind of technology. I think it was a German craft. And that's the thing. We'll never kind of fully ever know. Because, well, first of all, all of us were born later on in life. I was born in the 70s. Good old 70s. Yeah, so if I actually pull this back up, that one's talking about the movie. That one's talking about the movie. It's a U.S. incident, Battle of Los Angeles, and Foo Fighters. UFO incident. Of course, that's the famous picture, the guns. And again, we talked about, you guys got to watch that movie, 1941. I just wanted to see if Dr. Wu's back, but he's not. Let me see here. Anything that's different that we haven't heard already? Because we know there was a Japanese submarine that was spotted. I mean, that's true. Now, of course, that was 120 miles away. Santa Barbara is beautiful. I've been down there. Well, I mean, I was born and raised in California. And later in the morning, they called it off after firing 1,400 rounds of anti-aircraft ammunition. That's a lot, people. That's a lot. You got to remember, during that time, we weren't really cranking out the weapons, the rounds, right? We weren't really we had to rebuild factories back in the days, which actually led to the economy to get better with jobs and stuff. So they were making the rounds, for the wars and stuff. So, you just don't have like 1,400 spare just to shoot up at something that they call it a misfire. No, I don't. No, a false alarm, that's too many. That's too much. We were still making it. It's not like it wasn't magical. It wasn't like when Germany was making these weapons and bombs behind everybody's back, not behind people's back, but they were making it behind the scenes. So they were getting ready to start their war. They already had everything, where most of these countries, we didn't have those factories building the ammo. They started in that time, and it was actually the weapons that Americans were creating for the wars that actually the thing that got the economy going from the Depression time. So in a lot of ways, the war got the country back on, because it gave people jobs. It gave people jobs. And also in a weird way, in drafts, men are the ones that got drafted. So it opened up a lot of opportunity for women to get into the workforce. But we all know that there was a lot of crapheads people that underpaid them, abused the women when they were doing their part for America. I mean, that's just the world we live in, So that much ammo, they were shooting at something, people. Oh, there's Dr. Wu's back. Can you hear us? I think he's frozen. Oh, oh, I think we just lost him again. The ushered in the golden age of UFOs. Yeah. You're not lying there, and that's a different problem in its own. Can you hear us, Dr. Wu?
I'm barely coming in.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I could barely hear you. My internet, dude. We talked about them cutting the funding. Well, yeah, this is the results of it.
Jessica brought up something, the 1942, it did usher in the golden age of UFOs. So anytime you make something popular, the copycats are out, covering up the real ones with the fake ones. And I think that was part of the problem too. And then when UFOs got very popular, it's very hard to determine what is real and what is not.
I'm here. I got one bar. I'm sorry. I apologize, guys, in the sidebar. Again, we were joking about right when Eric said they cut the funding, which they did. My internet goes off right now, like during the show. It went off twice.
Yeah. And the reason I know about the funding because I was on that funding.
Yeah, me
You know,
too.
and I get
Disabled
that
veterans,
letter
we got it.
saying that unless the government refunds it, your discount, your $30 discount is going away on this date, and it did. They never refunded it. Probably um went to Joe Biden's son's defense team in court.
Well, yeah, he goes to court for all kinds of bad things. They all go to court for bad things, but they get to walk away legally because you got to remember, everyone keeps forgetting that they're sovereign. That means they're Washington, D.C. Remember when I was there? D.C. in this reality is sovereign. That means they have their own rules. They can do whatever they want. They're sovereign citizens. People don't realize that. They're sovereign citizens.
Let me ask you this.
Washington, D.C., the District of Columbia is its own state, or it's its own country.
Let me ask you this. Since I got you here, out of everything you guys discussed during the time when you were the archaeologist with the university and with the Museum of Flight, do you remember any talk of some kind of a UFO that in a discussion that it was real?
Oh, which UFO? Which incident you talking about? You talking about the
I'm
one
talking
in Los
about
Angeles?
any incident. Have you guys discussed any incident where there's like no doubt in your mind or anybody's mind in that discussion that that incident was real?
Oh, always, always. The pilots have always seen them. Pilots have always seen them. All the World War II old pilots, the Boeing guy, all the engineers, they all know it. They all know it. They're there. Every one of them. I mean, it's not even a question. It's just like they all know it's there. They all know that they're there. They already know it. You know?
I like what he said here. My grandpa Blair couldn't join the military during WW2 due to disability he had, but he did get a job at Goodyear.
Yeah, but they especially with all the you see, what people don't understand is a lot of those Boeing engineers went to the auction houses and purchased schematics from the when the Nazis got raided. They had all these schematics for aircraft, all kinds of different aircraft, and these Boeing engineers bought them, and they made models out of them, like actual models. And some of them look like UFOs, look like discs. You know what I mean? They had this craziest, weirdest, strangest aircraft. They were making things that are just insane. And again, they went to auction. All those Nazi schematics for them, arrow, whatever you want to call them, went up for auction, and these Boeing engineers were bidding on them, and they're paying thousands of dollars for these aircraft schematics, just so they could make these weird models to see what they would look like in actual functioning form. So, you know, there's some strange things that the Nazis come up with. I mean, really, really advanced technologies. Like, wow.
Well, I told people when you were when the government was kicking you off this channel, you know, when you were behind the scenes,
Yeah.
I was telling people that, you know, Germany, one of the things they did before they went to war, they were making this technology, they were making these bombs behind closed doors where nobody's seen it. And I was telling people, like, even when we got involved in these wars and stuff, we didn't have the factories all the way up that was making all these weapons right off like at first. And I was saying that what's interesting is the amount of ammo they used for a false alarm at the Battle of Los Angeles, when, you know, weapons were counted for because we were still building the factories to make this stuff because of the war. So you just don't waste 1,400 ammo for nothing, for false. You know you're shooting at
just
something.
don't roll out. You're not just going to shoot an anti-aircraft gun at nothing I mean, there's a big rounds, man. Those are huge, huge rounds.
Because every country was
they're huge.
Yeah, because every country was behind the war game of making weapons. You know, Germany was making this when they were planning when they tried to take over the world. That's why they took the world by storm, because they had all the equipment, because they were building it behind closed doors.
Well, yeah. Also, they had banking, which is ironic that the enemy's banking systems are the one funding the Nazis. So a British banking system lent money to the Nazis to invade England. So, and people don't realize that when they were bombing England, when the Nazis were flying over England, they were bombing specific slum areas. They weren't just bombing regular places. They were bombing the areas they considered to be nasty. And it's ironic that they would be blowing up all the old housings and all the old. And then right after the end of the war, they went ahead and rebuilt those houses and made a lot of money off of them. So there was a lot of money being made during that war. It's kind of like Game of Thrones, how all the crown is fighting each other to be king and to be the ruler. But you have one single banking system funding everyone for the war.
Yeah. Well, you know, I said it earlier that the war is what brought the economy back in the 40s with America, because all the factories they put people back in jobs, and you know, when people got jobs, they paid more taxes.
Well, what's really ironic was like the Gulf War, and when American soldiers were running around the Gulf there, and the enemy had sandbags. They set up sandbags around perimeters, right, so you don't get shot in the face. And the bags were manufactured in a Clinton company, or a Clinton-owned company. The Clintons owned the sandbag company. So the sandbags that the enemy were using were actually produced by a factory that the Clintons owned. And so it's like, how are they getting sandbags? The enemy's getting sandbags from an American-made manufacturing group.
Listen. Come on, senators, governors, presidents, they have hands in everything. They're making money somehow.
Oh yeah,
either sandbags,
especially the
weapons. They have everybody has their hands in something that's going to create money for them.
Well, yeah, they didn't have Jeeps in the Middle East. They had pickup trucks. Manufactured pickup trucks. They had the Toyotas, Fords, all the fucking other manufacturing pickup trucks from American or from European companies and Japanese companies. Like, how are you getting all this stuff? And then their AK-47s come out of Russia, out of caches from. Okay, so it's like it's a sponsored war by everyone throws a little something in the pot to keep the war going. Hilarious.
Yep, and then if something horrible goes wrong, they'll come up with a UFO story or something, or look, the government's having a UFO panel. Let's forget about everything else, and all that. But so I heard you almost had a record-breaking show last night. You were 13 minutes away from breaking your older record. So I heard that 13 minutes, and it's kind of funny that it your record was stopped by the number 13.
Yeah, well, I was my last beer. I just go on until my beer's gone. Basically, I just cracked up. Now, I could usually just go on for a few hours, knock it off, and then finish the beers and rewatch my show. Or I could just keep going and just cap off all the coldies and then call it. I kept it to the last beer.
Are you gonna try to break the record tonight?
I don't know if I'm going to go on tonight. Number one, as you can see, my internet has gotten because they didn't pass. They didn't pass that. It was supposed to be on Tuesday, and so they've cut my internet down, and they're pretty much going to be cutting it off completely. So I won't even. I barely have enough internet to come on your show right now. This is how bad.
What's weird about
you kicked me out of your show twice.
Well, what's weird about internet in a way where I was able to do some live shows where the devil's hand is. I go back there now. I can't get any signal. I have to do like pre-record and upload stuff if I do stuff from there now. But there was a time that I got great internet out there. No towers got taken down.
Huh.
No nothing. Like it's the only way they could do that is it didn't take down the tower. Somebody had to lower the boost of the signal to go out to receive on the phone. Or unless the devil
I didn't
himself
get a
is
word of
blocking
that
me
before.
from going live from there. I don't know. I don't know. And all that. But are you
Man.
but you are gonna try to go on tonight?
I'm so sorry, man. My internet's so bad. You just came in choppy. So
Well,
God,
I'm
I feel
almost
bad.
well, I'm about to end it anyway in about 3 minutes, but everybody in the chat, I'm gonna ask you guys a favor today. All you good people in the chat, I'm gonna ask you guys a favor today. The favor is I'm doing my first live show on my other channel, Hair Metal Revolution channel. I'm going to do my first live show, and if you like music, I'm going to do a top 5 hidden gem songs that you should have heard. That I'm talking about bands. Listen, everybody knows Motley Crue. Everybody knows the Dawkins, the Poisons, and Def Leppard and all them. I found these are 5 top songs that are not from bands that you might have not heard of. So if you're into that kind of stuff, if you're into that music, I'm going to be doing that live show in 1 hour. And so I'm going to do that show in 1 hour. So I would love the first live show on that channel to actually have some people. Because when I do uploads, when I do a premiere, there's 4 of you. Danny's there. Patty's usually there. Roger Blair shows up. Iba shows up. But those are premieres. But this is actually going to be the first time live. And it's always cool to see a few people in the chat, you know, like, hey, I like that song. I don't like that. So if you guys want to, you don't have to. But I like to see some of you guys in an hour on that channel. Talking some hidden gems.
Yeah,
Gems.
I'm only into polka.
Hey, maybe
I
one
like
day I'll
polka.
do a top 5 polka songs. You know,
and mariachi music. I like polka and mariachi music.
Yeah, you know, and when I'm here, and you know but what I am, what I do love is, I love when I put up polls, Bob. I got to show you this. I put up polls, right, of music, right. I put this one up this morning. Already 57 votes. I put one up yesterday, 182 votes, 131 votes, 151 votes, 96. I mean, 216. I get people voting on this channel, and I can barely get 20 to 30 people vote on this channel. Isn't it weird? I mean, it's weird. And it's just weird. It's just weird. You know, it's like it's cool that you put up a poll, and you know, when you get over 100, you can get a nice little idea of how people think. You know, but it's cool. But before we end, I'm gonna end the poll. I'm gonna end the poll now. In poll, every 68% of you believes that it was a UFO aircraft from outer space. 68% believes that it's true, and the other percentage believe that it's not. Or maybe they believe that yes, they shot at something, but it just wasn't a UFO from outer space, and that's fine. That's fine. Because I put that, Bob, because if I would have just put UFO, it's easy for everybody to say yes, because you can say that's anything. So I wanted to clarify that UFO I'm talking about was alien crafts. And all that. So If Eric's still on when Andy's finished, we'll pop over. Oh yeah, I forgot. He does his show, and I'm gonna be on his channel. I think next week, the 28th. That's right, the 28th next week. So beyond that, guys, I hope I see you guys over in an hour. I'd love to see you guys there. It'll be fun. And I'll end the show today. I don't know. I'll end it today with world news intro.